Hey guys, I wanted to show y'all and kind of get y'all an introduction to image planes and show y'all how to set the grid up for the chairs project so it'll snap all really nice and easy. Image planes are a really important part of modeling in Maya. They're a really important part of modeling no matter what program you're using because they allow you to get your reference into the 3D space so you have a reference to kind of guide you and help show your forms and things off. I primarily model with image planes unless I'm trying to just kind of go free-wheelie with it and try to find a good form for something. And even then, I'll kind of refine it back. We'll later on get into how to use blueprints and all this kind of stuff in order to create, to use better image planes and all that. But for the moment, I just want to show you all how to get these image planes in there and then also kind of replicate the grid that's on the back of that image plane. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go to View, Image Plane, and then Import Image. Alright, I'm noticing that this is my front. As you can see, it says front here, it says front here. So if I go to, where are you now, chair, and then chair front. Alright, so here's the front image, and go ahead and hit open on that, and then this is going to be the right side. So View, Image Plane, Import Image, go ahead and say Side, so it'll be the side image right here, Side View, or Right View. Alright, and now I end up with this nice mess right here in the middle, right? As we kind of were looking at, there's no way really to model anything when it's in the middle of something like this because it turns into a total mess and you can't get into it. So what we need to do is we need to pull these out. The first thing I want to do is make sure my size and all that is good. For some reason, pulling this thing in, it's giving me a width of 10.24. I'm guessing it's because these images are 1024s. Let me double check here. Here's the thing in the image. Go to properties. And yes, it is a detail 1024 by 1024. Well, just to revise this down just a little bit so it fits really nice. If you look over in your channel box on the image plane, you'll see a whole bunch of numbers and things like that. And what I want to do is where it says width and height, I'm going to change that just to a 10. Alright, see how that scales down, right? Same thing on this one here, I want to change that to a 10. Alright, on both of these. So now they're a little smaller, but they're going to fit a lot better on our grid. And as you can see, I've already kind of set this grid up so that it matches pretty well the way the grid lines are working. I can really show you here in the side view. If I look here in the side view, there's going to be a little bit of discrepancy, but for the most part they should match up pretty well. Alright, so what I want to have happen here, let me delete this cylinder, is I want to pull these apart from each other. And what I'm going to do is just select one of them and then see here's our X, Y, and Z. Alright, so this is the X, or this is the Z, and this is going to be the Y. So I want to pull this one out along the Y, I'm sorry, the X axis. So what I want to do is I want to click on Image Center and then just drag it over. Okay, so I'm going to take it off, kind of off the grid, so I guess about a -10. Alright, that'll be right on the edge of the grid here. If you notice, I've set these image planes up so that the center of the image plane, half's up, half's down, so it sits on top of the construction grid. We'll kind of get into all that here in a later time when we talk about making image planes, but for the moment I just want you to move these off of the image plane. So here this is going to be moving image center Z, so I'm going to move this thing off, so -10 along the Z. And then this way, whenever we create our objects, they can be in the middle and we can look around them and not have these image planes kind of getting in our way. But because of the way the orthographic views work, they are nicely aligned and still nicely set up here in our side views. Alright, so for the grid, in order to create these grid lines, I was just playing around with some of the grid settings, and what I found was, let's go to Display, Grid, okay, and turn it on. I can turn it off from this, and the little option box next to grid is how we can get to these grid settings. And what I ended up using is a length width of 10, grid lines every 2 units with 6 subdivisions. You can divide it up, you can try some different math and things for this in order to get maybe a little bit different look. but what I really just decided was this 10, 2, and 6 tended to work very, very well. And in that way I've got my grid line set up so that if I want to come down here to use vertices and hold down X for my snap, I'm snapping up, okay, in each grid way. So that way when we model the first chair, so that things will fit up. Alright, so I hope that answers all the questions about setting up the grid, the image planes for starting this project. I'll make another one as a chair guide.